What's happening, Curaleaf traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Today's Monday, May 1st, beginning of a new month. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Curaleaf's Q4 earnings that just came out today. They had record fiscal year revenue to date, and we're going to go over these results. They did have a mixed bag, so they beat in terms of revenue, but they did have a pretty big miss in terms of EPS. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. So this article here from New MJ Ventures, Curaleaf Q4 revenue increases 4% sequentially, and I go over some highlights here. We'll go through this as quickly as possible. In effort of time. Curaleaf reports fourth quarter and fiscal year-end 2022 results. So they had record fiscal year 2022 revenue of 1.34 billion and adjusted EBITDA of 305 million, representing an increase of 12% and 17% from fiscal 2021 respectively. Fourth quarter 2022 revenue was 352.5 million, so we were anticipating 350.74 million, so we did beat in terms of analyst estimates with regards to revenue, representing an increase of 14% year over year and adjusted EBITDA of 73 million. Operating cash flow of 46 million and cash on balance sheet of 163 million, and all of these numbers and figures are provided in US dollars unless otherwise stated. Boris Jordan, executive chairman of Curaleaf, commented 2022 was another record year for Curaleaf that further solidified our leadership position in the industry. In the fourth quarter, we delivered sales growth of 14% to 352.5 million with adjusted gross margin of 47% and adjusted EBITDA margin of 21%. For the year, we grew revenue by 12% to 1.34 billion with an adjusted gross margin of 50% and adjusted EBITDA margin of 23%. We generated 46 million in operating cash flow and ended the year with 163 million in cash on our balance sheet. We have a strong cash position, and we will continue to invest in the right opportunities for growth domestically and abroad. I am pleased that we took the necessary actions in Q4 and early Q1 to reduce expenses and streamline the organization, positioning us for years of profitable growth to come. And this is a stock that I own, full disclosure. This is one of my favorite picks, probably my top 5. I think it's my fourth or fifth biggest holding. I've got about 15 different MJ stocks now. I've got a mix of US producers, Canadian producers, retailers, ETFs, picks and shovels, right? And I think Curaleaf is probably going to be I think it's going to be a top 5 globally. And I think, it's going to be, I think in my opinion, it's the best MSO out there. But again, full disclosure, I am a shareholder and, I am very bullish on the future of Curaleaf, but obviously we're in a bear market right now and everything is down 80 to 90% plus. So I do expect to see a decent bounce here over the next couple of months. And we have just did a video as well on some progress here with regards to safe banking, but again, reintroduced in the House and the Senate. It's been passed in the House, I think 9 times now, but it always stalls out in the Senate. We need to get rid of the likes of Mitch McConnell and those, the anti-MJ people that are in Congress that just don't understand and aren't giving the people what they want, right? 70 to 80% of people in the U.S. want it legalized at the recreational level. It's just time to get with the times and give the people what they want. But very bullish on the outlook of Curaleaf. And this is from Matt Darren, the Chief Executive Officer of Curaleaf. Curaleaf accomplished a great deal last year. We launched 171 new products, introduced 3 new brands, and opened 28 new stores, completed 6 acquisitions, and expanded our European presence with the German market, converted to GAAP accounting, and built out the management team with high caliber talent. And yeah, I think German is going to benefit greatly from the Germany market. We know that it's going to be more than likely Aurora, Tilray, and Curaleaf as the top ones in that market. So again, I'm very, very bullish in terms of that outlook as well. Sold over 600 million of our own brands through our own stores. So we'll scroll down here, we'll go a little bit quicker. So going through some fourth quarter 2022 financial highlights, the gross profit is 78.1 million and gross margin of 22%, Adjusted gross profit net of add backs of 165.4 million, adjusted gross margin of 47%, inclusive of 240 basis point impact from the expense reclassification into the cost of goods sold, so COGS. Net loss attributed to Curaleaf Holdings Inc. of 260.3 million, or a net loss per share of 36 cents. Adjusted net loss attributed to Curaleaf Holdings Inc. of 162 million, or net loss per share of 23 cents. Adjusted EBITDA of 73 million, or 21% of revenue, excluding non-cash goodwill impairments and inventory write-downs totaling 225 million. And as I mentioned, 163 million in cash at the quarter end. So I'll go through a little bit quicker here. So added 8 new, this is the fourth quarter operational highlights, added 8 new retail dispensaries, including 4 in Nevada, 3 in Florida, and 2 in Arizona. Completed the acquisition of Trade Companies, a vertically integrated MSO multi-state operator operating in Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. Launched Find, a flower brand meeting the trend of economizing consumer with high-quality MJ flower at an accessible price point. Unveiled the national rebrand and ongoing expansion of Grassroots premium flower brand and launched Grassroots diamond infused pre-rolls. Began adult use at sales at Bordentown Township, New Jersey location, the company's 3rd location to sell adult use MJ in the Garden State. Full year 2022 operational highlights: opened 28 locations across key strategic markets, including Arizona, Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. 21 new stores opened and 7 stores added via acquisition. Introduced 171 new products in 2022, which we mentioned. New brand launches include Endless Coast, Find, and Plant Precision, targeting a variety of price points and product need states. New products launched in 2022 accounted for approximately 18% of the full 2022 revenue, and completed the acquisition of Bloom Dispensaries in Arizona. Also completed majority stake acquisition of Germany's 420 Pharma. Post fourth quarter 2022 highlights, so announced the cost reduction plan and discontinued operations in California, Colorado, and Oregon as a part of Curaleaf's continued effort to streamline its business. Reduced payroll hours by 10%, coupled with other expense reductions across the organization, resulting in over $60 million in annual gross run rate expense savings, above the previously anticipated savings of $40 million. So a lot of companies just trying to cut down on costs and things like that, right? To achieve positive cash flow and profitability, not just in U.S. names, but across the whole sector. Continued to strategically expand its retail footprint in Florida, opening 5 additional stores as of May 1st, 2023. Curaleaf retail operations totaled 152 nationwide, so that's quite the feat. Gained approval to sell adult use customers at its Stamford, Connecticut location in January, immediately following the opening of adult use sales, and at its Hartford, Connecticut location in March. Completed the acquisition of Desiree Wellness, providing 3 dispensaries in Utah as well. So they did miss in terms of EPS. So they had negative 36, which I mentioned earlier. So scroll down here. So there was the net loss, and it was a net loss per share of 36 cents. So that was a big far cry from the expected negative 0.0315. So big miss there in terms of EPS, coming in at negative 0.36. And then, like I said, a beat in terms of revenue. Slight beat there, not a huge beat, but a beat nonetheless. And something I wanted to mention as well is that we know that I did a video on this, and we know that the Boris Jordan, so the founder and executive chairman of Curaleaf, he said that 280E obviously must go, and that he thinks that MJ companies are going to be really high-paying dividend companies. And if we just take a look at how much they pay the U.S. government, they said over $340 million they paid in under 280E. And if that was, if they retained that revenue and it didn't go, all that tax didn't go to the U.S. government, obviously there's going to be tax and the government's going to get theirs. But if it wasn't to that extent, they would already be paying a dividend, he said. And he thinks that MJ stocks are going to be very high cash flowing businesses and are going to offer a lot of dividends in the future. So that's very interesting. Again, very bullish on this stock in the long term. Just taking a look at the chart here at the moment. So we did have a weekly bear flag that was confirming, and we had a target of about $3.14, and we hit a low of $2.97. So we did hit that target, and it's looking like we could potentially see a bounce now, coming off monthly oversold if we factor in that lower wick there on the monthly time frame, but hitting a new all-time low. But not financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only, but it's looking like we could see, like I said, over the next few weeks, we finally could see a bottom being set, in my opinion, and we could see a massive move. If we just start the monthly bounce with a break of 384 resistance, that could be a nice swing trade. So you could enter on a break of that resistance. Just to EMA 12, you're looking at a 50 to 100% of upside and still being in a monthly downtrend. Anything under $10.68 would be a monthly lower high. So I think that this is going to offer a massive swing trade opportunity and growth going forward. I'm a buyer at these levels. I'll continue to add and dollar cost average to my position. I think my position average is around $5 right now on Curaleaf, and like I said, extremely bullish on this stock going forward. But going to end it there, let me know what you think of these earnings. It's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Hope you have a great night. We'll see you in the next video.